Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about IELTS exam writing task 2, which was asked in evening slot in India on 14th January 2023. So now if you look at the statement is interviews form the basic selecting criteria for most large companies. However, some people think that the interview is not a reliable method of choosing whom to employ, and there are other better methods. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So now, first of all, you need to understand what interviews are. So interviews basically बहुत से लोग हैं जो जॉब ढूंढते हैं इंडिया में, इंडिया से बाहर, हर कंट्री में। जब वो जॉब ढूंढते हैं उनको इंटरव्यूज क्लियर करनी पड़ती है। सो इंटरव्यूज में उनसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं, वेदर वो उनके काम के बारे में है, स्टडीज के बारे में, एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में, लाइफ गोल्स के बारे में है, उनके इंटरेस्ट के बारे में है, और उनका जो जॉब में इंटरेस्ट है, क्यों करना चाहते हैं, उनके ऊपर होते हैं इंटरव्यूज। सो कहते हैं कि इंटरव्यूज जो है बहुत सी बड़ी कंपनियों के लिए एक क्राइटेरिया सेट कर देते हैं जिसके थ्रू वो अपने एम्प्लॉयज को हायर करते हैं। बट कुछ लोग हैं जो जिनका मानना है कि इंटरव्यू रिलायबल मेथड नहीं है जो बताता है कि हमें इस एम्प्लॉय को हायर करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए। और भी बहुत से मेथड हैं जिनको हम चूज कर सकते हैं। आप कितना इस स्टेटमेंट के साथ एग्री करते हो और डिसएग्री करते हो? दिस इज व्हाट द क्वेश्चन exactly is, right? So now I want to talk about this question. To what extent do you agree or disagree? अब होता क्या है जब भी ऐसे स्टेटमेंट आ जाती है कि कितना आप एग्री करते हो, डिसएग्री करते हो, बहुत से स्टूडेंट ये मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग रखते हैं अपने माइंड में कि उनको पार्शली ही जाना होगा। उनको कहना पड़ेगा कि वो पार्शली एग्री करते हैं या पार्शली डिसएग्री करते हैं। ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता। ओके, हमें जो अच्छा लगता है, जो मेरा मानना है, मैं उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आंसर करूंगी। अब मैं ये भी कह सकती हूँ कि आई एग्री, I can also say I disagree. This depends upon the points I have. This depends on the ideas I have. If I'm able to write this writing task too in the required word limit or not, that is more important here. So today I'm going to talk about this topic in a whole. Right, I have written one Mara answer for all of you, and we are going to discuss it in this session only. The second tip I want to tell everyone is that always read your statement for minimum 4 to 5 times. Read statement for 4 to 5 times. Okay, this is what will help you to improve your task response. Now, what happens? Most of the students, they read the statement once and they rush to write it. This is the reason they, lose their score on task response as they write off the topic. Now, if you're at the beginner stage and you need to work on your task response, if you're continuously losing your marks only because your task response is not appropriate, your grammar is good, but you're writing a bit of the topic, you need to focus on this. Always read statement 4 to 5 times. Let's begin with our answer. And the question was about interviews, okay? So I want to write, structured introductions. I will simply, start with simple introduction where I will explain if I agree or disagree. So here the answer will. I agree that interviews are commonly used as a basic selection criteria for most large companies, but they are not always the most reliable method for choosing whom to employ. So, interviews can be useful in determining a candidate's qualification, skills, and experience, but they are also subject to bias and subjectivity. So, what I did here, I simply mentioned that I agree. And where I had to paraphrase the statement, I simply wrote it. I agree that interviews are commonly used as a basic selection criteria for most large companies, but they are not always the most reliable method for choosing whom to employ. So interviews can be useful in determining a candidate's qualification, skills, and experience, but they are also subject to bias and subjectivity. अब bias क्या होता है? Bias होता है partial, right? अब मेरा जो मेन बॉडी पैराग्राफ जो है मैं स्टार्ट करूंगी यहाँ से. Let's move further. So one of the main issues with interviews is that they are often conducted by a single person or a small group of people, which can lead to bias and inconsistent evaluations. So the interviewer may form an opinion of the candidate based on their appearance, body language, or other non-job related factors. So additionally, the interviewer's personal biases and prejudices can influence their evaluation of the candidate, leading to an unfair assessment. So this is very true, right? मेन इशू क्या होता है कि जो इंटरव्यूज होते हैं वो बेसिकली अक्सर जो कंडक्ट किए जाते हैं, बेसिकली क्या होता है, जो इंटरव्यूज होते हैं वो अक्सर एक पर्सन के द्वारा कंडक्ट किए जाते हैं जहाँ तो एक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल होता है. अब क्या होता है कि जब मैं इंटरव्यू ले रही हूँ किसी का, तो मैं उसकी अपीयरेंस, बॉडी लैंग्वेज या कोई भी नॉन जॉब रिलेटेड फैक्टर है उसको जज कर सकती हूँ, राइट? सो इससे हम अनफेयर असेसमेंट की तरफ पहुंच सकते हैं instead of hiring a good employee. This is the first major reason that I believe that interviews are not fair to, simply select any of the candidates. Now moving further, another issue. अब another issue क्या होता है इसमें हमारा? Another issue with interviews is that they often rely heavily on candidates' ability to present themselves well and answer questions in a confident and polished manner. However, this is not always an indicator of the candidate's qualification or abilities. Some candidates may not perform well in an interview setting due to an anxiety or other factors, but may still be well suited for the role. This is the another issue. That we can say that interviews are not the only best method, there are other methods too. Now moving to my next question. Now moving to my next point, I want to talk about my viewpoint here, that while interviews can be a useful tool for evaluating candidates, they should be used in conjunction with other methods to provide a more comprehensive and reliable assessment of a candidate's qualifications and potential fit for a role. अदर मेथड्स, अब मैं बताऊंगी कि अदर कौन से मेथड्स हो सकते हैं जो रिलायबल होने चाहिए. तो इस पैराग्राफ में मैं बेसिकली बता रही हूँ कि इंटरव्यूज यूजफुल टूल हो सकते हैं, बट उनको दूसरे मेथड्स के साथ कंबाइंड टेस्ट करना चाहिए, right? So other methods such as work sample, skill test, reference check, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए, okay? Or a combination of these can provide more objective and valid information about a candidate's qualification, skills, and experience. For example, a skill test can demonstrate a candidate's proficiency in a specific skill or area, while a work sample can give an insight into the candidate's work style and ability to perform the task that are required for the role. So ये जो हमारे methods है, we can use it to check if candidate जो है वो perform कर सकता है वो task जो उसको उसकी job profile में पूरे करने होंगे, right? So finally हम last में लिखते हैं conclusion. So conclusion भी जो मेरे दो main body paragraphs हैं उनको मैं साथ में लेकर ही लिखूंगी, right? So in conclusion, it is important to note that while interviews can provide valuable information about a candidate, they should not be the sole determining factor. This is my belief. अकेला डिटर्मिनिंग फैक्टर नहीं होना चाहिए जब हम हायर करते हैं एम्प्लॉयज को. दे शुड नॉट बी द सोल डिटर्मिनिंग फैक्टर in the hiring process. Employers should use a variety of methods to evaluate candidates in order to make more informed and fair hiring decisions. जो अदर मेथड्स है जो कि ऑलरेडी हम ऊपर के जो बॉडी पैराग्राफ है उसमें मेंशन किए हैं कौन कौन से अदर मेथड्स हैं वो भी साथ में यूज करने चाहिए ताकि जो हम informed or fair hiring decisions ले सकें. So that will be my conclusion. Thank you for watching the video.